Hello and welcome to Books to Africa on Air, where we discuss interesting topics with a special focus on Africa. My name is Tonsin Sango, your host, and I'm here with a special guest today, Mrs. Nkechi Okorocha, who is one of the most successful directors at Mary Kay. You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
I'm so glad that she's here, and we're going to be talking about African women in entrepreneurship. Okay, so stay tuned. We have, somebody who is very successful, of course, as a woman, as an African woman. So I'm really glad. I've been trying to get her to come on the show for a while. So finally, we've been able to do it today. So I'm really pleased that you're here, and you're very welcome.
Thank you.
So, right, where do we start? There's so much happening now with the Me Too movement. Maybe let's start there. A lot of women are coming out on Twitter, on Facebook, on social media, talking about how they have been harassed, how they've gone through difficulties in the workplace, especially by men. And, this brings another layer of controversy. It's not just about the harassment anymore, but of course there's the pay gap and all the other issues that women go through, who are in employment or who are starting their business. So what do you think about all this sort of, this renewed interest in women's rights?
Yeah, this has been going on for a very, very long time, I must admit. But I'm quite happy that people are speaking out now. And especially in Africa, it's not as common now, or would I say it's not really well known, just compared to the West.
Yeah.
But it's good to see that women now have the confidence to say, do you know what? Enough is enough. This is our time. We've gone through this for a long time. So this is the time for us to now tell people that, you know what? We are not that second-class citizen. We have to speak out now and tell the world that we've had enough.
Enough is enough.
Yeah.
And you're talking about that confidence.
Yeah.
Do you think that this is something that, because a lot of people are sort of every day somebody else comes out.
Yeah.
So it seems as if, of course, it takes a lot of courage for a woman to come out on air and say, this happened to me, something that maybe she's embarrassed about, something she's ashamed about. How much courage does that take? And maybe us men, we sometimes don't understand that, how much courage does it take?
To be honest with you, I really doff my heart for them because, for a woman to come out to say that I was sexually harassed or I have been asked not to speak, and she's been living with that guilt and all that for so many years, and today or this time, that person is coming out to say, no, I've got to speak out. It takes a lot of courage. It really does. And I know some of them have been criticized. Some of them, people are saying, why now? There has to be a time, and that time is now for them. So this is the time that, probably they've got that confidence to now speak out. So it's not an easy thing to do. So I really applaud them.
So you mentioned this, confidence, the amount of confidence it takes for a woman to actually come out and speak out about something that she might feel embarrassed or ashamed of. Sometimes I don't think men fully understand the courage it takes for a woman to say, me too, to make it public that she went through such a thing. So, help us understand that. How much courage does it really take?
As a woman, is always, you can be seen and not be heard. So for a woman to really decide to come out, to say, do you know what? Enough is enough. Now, to me, as a woman, I doff my heart for that person because that person must have been living with that guilt. That person must have been thinking that, I don't want people to know what I've been through, especially if it's a sexual harassment. I don't want people to know that I have been raped or have been sexually, harassed. How do I say that? Especially if that woman now has children. So for that person to come out now to say that, that is very, very commendable.
Exactly, because the impact is not just on her, but
it's not just on her children as well. Her career, her loved ones.
Yeah.
And for a celebrity, her fans. So you don't know who you will lose and who you won't lose. So it's like taking a risk, which is why we should hear them out, honestly.
Yes. And isn't that, in a sense, it feels like I guess when somebody has been harassed, they feel powerless, they feel like the victim.
That's
but
why
in
they
doing
use it.
so,
Yeah.
they are, in a sense, reclaiming their freedom.
Absolutely. They are reclaiming their freedom. It's like, this is my time. This is my time to now reclaim that freedom.
Right.
And I don't think they should be judged for that. Because you can only say what you want to say, but you're not in their shoes. You don't know what they have been through mentally. And that, again, can spill over to their children as well, because of what they have gone through. So that could be the reason why, you know, if they are bringing up their children, they are bringing up their children with fear and anxiety to say, oh, my God, if I went through this, what is my child going to go through in life? So it's really, really, really a very difficult thing for a woman to go through, honestly, mentally, not just even physically, but mentally, which is the lasting, the negative lasting effect that woman will have as well. So it's
and I mean, I know a lot of women, for example, who even go as far as saying, you know, I don't want to have a female child, you know, because
absolutely.
it's just so difficult, and you know, a woman will go through so much in a man's world, as it were.
That's right.
I mean, what would you say to such women? I mean, is the solution to this problem kind of like, oh, let's not have more women, you know? Or,
no,
I mean,
not at all.
not.
Not at all. It's education, actually. It's education. And for that woman to, like I always say about the mental thing, about this kind of thing is something that you have to educate that woman, counsel her, let her know that, yes, I know the scar is there, okay, the mental scar is there, but that shouldn't be a reason why you would decide not to have a female child, or to say...
Yeah, I guess, I mean, what I'm trying to really ask is, as a mother who has a daughter, what do you do to protect
my daughter
and prepare your daughter for this kind of world where she might get harassed, somebody might harass her, you know?
Education.
I mean, how do you protect her? How do you prepare
Education. Her? I tell my daughter, this is called life, okay? When you go through something like this, let us know, speak out, okay? Because part of the problem is these women will be asked not to share with anybody else. They'll be threatened. If you say it, you lose your job. If you say this, we are going to deal with you and your family. So that threat, that fear, you know, is there, and they live with this fear. But if you educate a child, a female, a woman, to say, if any of this happens, please let me know, or let somebody else know, speak to a close person. Then by doing that, you only empower something if you don't speak the truth, if you don't speak out about it. But if you speak out and let the person know, or somebody you can trust.
So that could be your husband, or
that could be your husband,
member.
Absolutely, or a good friend of yours, you know, so that they will know what's going on. And then, yes, you will. I don't think it would continue that much if if the awareness is there for people to know what to do.
Absolutely.
And they get ready for it before it happens.
I mean, the reason why I think this is very important as well, because I feel like, and I don't know what you think about it, but I feel like the Me Too movement hasn't really picked up much, maybe in Africa, and hasn't resonated much with African men, generally speaking. So I don't know, I mean, what would you say, for example, now to African women, young women, or even married women who have been through this, and for them, there's a lot of issues there. What would you say to them in terms of kind of helping them to just kind of overcome that kind of mental, you know, trauma that they have, to then enable them to, in a sense, reclaim their freedom and move on into kind of success and wealth and all these wonderful things? Yeah,
it's, you know, if as an African woman, why is a little bit difficult for an African woman is the culture, the cultural differences that we have, you know, if you're comparing the Western Africa. But I would still say, please, if this happens, confide in somebody, tell somebody about it. Because if you don't, they will continue doing that, and it's going to affect you. But when you speak out, and if they know that you're going to speak out, I know that the problem with Africa is because of the poverty rate, I would say, it's like if you have a good job, or somebody will say to you, if somebody harasses you and says to you, if you say this to people, you're going to lose your job. Now, you could be the breadwinner at home. You're thinking, should I really take that risk? Should I lose my job? You know, so because of that, you won't say anything to anybody because you will lose your job. But in this case, the more people that speak out, the better, the more awareness they will have in Africa. Because if you still allow that if you still keep to your job, it will keep on going on. And it's just speaking out. That's the answer to everything, honestly.
And I must ask you about this. I know this is a bit controversial, but about divorce. You know, the D word.
Very controversial.
Nobody must mention divorce. You know, it must not be spoken. But I feel like, I mean, in this kind of context where some women are being beaten by their husbands, some women are being brutalized, people, you know, women are ending up in hospital. And when they speak out, like you're advising them, you know, speak to your husband, speak to your family, speak to your friends, all they hear is, or speak to your pastors even in some cases, you know, oh, just bear it, you know, stay there, you know, divorce, God hates divorce, that kind of. So when is it right? I know you're not a pastor, by the way, but when is it right, in your view, for a woman to say, look, enough is enough, I have to leave this man because I can't take this abuse anymore?
Yeah, if your life is in danger, of course you can't be there anymore. If your life is in danger, and if you have children and they see what is going on, and you're still there because you think, oh, you know what? I don't want, because God hates divorce, I don't want my child, I don't want to leave the home, and you are your life is in danger. Come on, God is not a bad God. He knows that if you don't leave, a lot of women have lost their lives just because of this, because they want to stay and, you know, and say, okay, I will make it work, I'll make it work. Having said that, as a Christian, I believe in prayers. I believe that you can also pray. Okay, and if you say you're a Christian, you pray and ask the Holy Spirit to lead you. Now, God might use you to change that man. It has happened. I've seen it happen.
So there has been times when men have changed.
Oh, absolutely.
As a result of women who have kind of loved and, you know, continue to bear.
Absolutely. As some of them have also they've gone on to be speaking to people about marriages, you know, after their own marriage was healed, when they were going through that. So it's, as a Christian, it's a question of, you know, you having that quiet time with the Lord and asking God to lead you. And of course, speaking with your pastor. And then if you have a good pastor, the pastor will invite both of you to counsel both of you. But after doing all that, if it still hasn't worked and your life is still in danger,
then maybe it's time to pull the plug.
Maybe it's time to,
Okay, I mean, I understand that, and I think, you know, it's important for us to really speak about that, because at the end of the day, we don't want to lose our daughters. We don't want somebody to die.
I have only one daughter. I don't think I want to lose her.
You know, rather than lose a daughter, you'd rather lose a relationship.
That's right.
Know,
Absolutely.
than lose a life.
I totally agree there.
It doesn't make sense, really. It's a no-brainer. But I want to ask you quickly about, I mean, because you mentioned your faith as a Christian and so on. So what role, and I mean, we are coming back to the business, by the way. But what role has your faith and kind of your family played in helping you to be a successful woman, to be a woman who is, you know, free, in a sense, free from all kinds of mental, you know, traumas that women go through, or challenges, and also go beyond that to be a successful woman who owns, you know, who is in business, who has had a career, whose kids are doing well, who is still married and not divorced, and so on and so forth. So what role does family and faith play for you as a woman? Yeah,
faith will come first, because when you put God first, I believe in Matthew 6:33, seek you first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and every other thing shall be added unto you. Right. When you put God first, he now directs everything. Okay, now my family, obviously, everybody that knows me will tell you that they are my rock. They are my life as well. So because I put God first, if there's any challenge or any concern, I go back to God to say, what do I do? Help me here, even if it's with the family or with the loved ones. So it still goes back to God. But my family, they have been there for me. I don't think I'll be who I am today, obviously, after God. I don't think I'll be where I am today without my family. My husband has been absolutely amazing. and the kids are just, what can I say? Whenever I want to talk about my family, it makes me emotional, because they are my life.
So, I mean, just talking about, you mentioned faith earlier,
yeah.
and I was just thinking about the black community, the black or African community. It's very difficult. I mean, the only time we find black Africans gathered together, in mass numbers tends to be in churches these days. And I feel like the church has a big role to play in terms of not just saving people and, preaching the gospel, but helping people to come out of the bondage of poverty as well.
That's right.
So,
that's right.
I mean, what do you think the role of churches is in helping people come out of poverty, not just in saving them, from their sins, but bringing them out of poverty? Do you have any examples of churches that you think are doing exactly that?
Yes, of course. It's a very good question, because we think that church is just a place that you go to ask God to forgive your sins. No, the pastors are there to guide you as well, to lead you, to say to you, yes, Jesus died for your sins, but he also died for you to look after yourself, So we have absolutely. So we have some good pastors and churches, like Pastor King of Favor Church in Canterbury, Favor House in Canterbury, and so who also has been immensely supportive of Books to Africa, So people, see, this is what I call Christianity. Yeah. This is what, it's not just to say that you're a pastor, you're a Christian, without really helping people grow, okay? So I dove my heart for him, So yeah, so if you come to Canterbury, please go and visit Favor House. So thank you. And I believe in pastors that know what the Bible says, and people that actually put action to whatever they say.
Now we want to talk about business and how African women can get into entrepreneurship.
Okay.
So starting with you, what has been your journey into entrepreneurship?
Wow. Well, I'm an accountant, in summary, exactly. Yeah. I'm an accountant by profession. So I had worked in this country for about 15 years as an accountant. But what really, for me personally, why I went into business, like what you asked, was because when we moved down here from Scotland to England, my kids were like teenagers, and I've always said that if you don't take care of your children, the society will take care of your children for you. So I needed to, what it is to have, you don't have teenagers. So
not yet.
For people that have teenagers, so they can be quite challenging. Yeah. So I wanted to eat my cake and have it at the same time. Yeah. I wanted to make my money, the money that I was getting my salary, or probably even increase that. But most importantly, I wanted to be there for the kids. So I had to do something that would give me that flexibility. So that was why I went into Mary Kay business, obviously. As an accountant, we are really conversant with businesses. So I was looking for the one that would give me passive income as well. And I found Mary Kay.
And talk about that, because a lot of, not every business gives you passive income.
No.
Some businesses require kind of your full-time and
That's right.
more attention.
Absolutely.
Than
you're either a sole
job.
trader or you're a partner in a business. So that is not going to really give you passive income.
So let's talk about that. I mean, getting into Mary Kay, how does that work for you? And I mean, how do you kind of go about running your Mary Kay business? Yeah,
when I joined, I actually saw Mary Kay as a business before I saw it as Mary Kay, which is the problem people have. They are thinking, oh, Mary Kay business. Oh, Mary Kay, I can't sell. Oh, no. You look at it as a business first, because once you start from there, you will now start thinking like a businesswoman, and you will now, apply all the business principles, how to run a successful business. So when I joined Mary Kay, I said to myself, okay, how can I get that passive income? And one of the ways would be to be what we call a director, to be a leader. And I like to lead as well. Not really even leading, I like to share with women. I like to really help in any way that I can. So that really goes, or it went well, would I say, it still goes with, my principle about life. So I now wrote down all the things that I needed to do. I set my goals. Because one of the things I found out with people, not just Mary Kay, people generally, women generally, is they don't set goals when they want to start a business or when they are starting a business. They start a business in their minds. If it works, it works. If it doesn't work, I check out. Yeah. Nobody does that. That's not how businesses work.
Right.
So I had to put down those goals that would help me to achieve my aim. And so that was what I did.
Wow.
Yeah.
So in a sense, what you're saying is you have to get it. What is the right attitude to get into business with for a woman?
For a woman, know what you want. Know the kind of business that you want. Okay, if you want to open a hairdressing salon, read about it. Find out how it will work. Don't have a 50-50, mindset about it. Say to yourself, I want to be the best hairdresser. Read about it. Look at the people that have made it work. What have they done? How did they start? So that will help you. It will give you ideas as well, how you can make yours work. You want to open a restaurant business. Read about restaurant business. Find out about it. Thank God for information now online. You can Google anything now. So Google just whatever you want to do. Find out about that stuff. Don't just do it. Don't just have that thing where, okay, I'll try it. Casual thing. Yeah. It's not a hobby. Don't look at it as a hobby. There's a big difference between a hobby and running a business. Right. So find out what it takes to make that business work.
And did you have to quit your accountancy
I
job
did.
to start
I had to
completely?
No, I was working full-time then, so I started Mary Kay part-time, and then I had to quit afterwards.
So you kind of juggled the two for a while?
For a while, yes.
And then, so at what point did you decide, you know what, I'm just going to quit my job and just do this full-time?
Yeah, at the point whereby when I started making money, not even too much money in Mary Kay, I said to myself, now, if I could be making this kind of money, not putting as much time, okay, only God knows what would happen if I have to now put half of my 9-to-5 job into this business for myself. Right. And that was when I decided to do that. And I haven't regretted it at all. Wow,
yeah, of course. And now you're one of the most successful directors at Mary Kay.
Yeah.
I mean, for those who don't know what Mary Kay is about, maybe give them a little bit of an explanation.
Yeah.
What Mary Kay is about and why should they buy any of Mary Kay products from you, for example.
Oh, good. Okay. Mary Kay is a business. It's not a pyramid business. Let me get it out there. It's a business that has all the principles of a good business. Right. Passive income, okay? Even sole trader in the sense that you're selling your stuff. You're talking about a business that will give you 40% profit margin. I don't know how many businesses that will give you that. But the number one reason, apart from the flexibility and all the things, the money, why I joined Mary Kay, was the philosophy, which has always been my own personal philosophy in life, where you put God first, put your family second, and your career third. So that was how I was doing that was how my life was. So when I now saw that this is a company also that has the same philosophy as I do, I said to myself, you know what? This is God ordained, so why not? Yeah. So it's a business that will give you whatever you want. If you don't even want to be a leader, you can sell your products. Mary Kay products, we are I think first 5 in the whole world, which is commendable as well. So it's really
in a very
good.
Competitive industry.
Oh yes, exactly.
So I can see you're wearing some of your Mary Kay makeup
today.
So maybe tell them what you're wearing so they can.
I'm wearing a Mary Kay foundation. Apart from my skincare, which is Mary Kay, obviously my cleanser and what have you. Yeah. But the makeup also, I'm wearing Mary Kay foundation, Mary Kay primer, Mary Kay lipsticks, Mary Kay eyeliner, Mary Kay mascara, Mary Kay cheek color, Mary Kay after finishing spray, the whole package. because I'm the B-board
Yeah.
of Mary Kay. I have to market myself because it's my business, so I have to market the products.
And I mean, why not? I mean, if it works and it looks good, then, I mean, it's a no-brainer to me. And it's affordable, isn't it?
Oh, very affordable. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Because Mary Kay is one of the high-end, you know, like if you use high-end products. So Mary Kay is cheaper than high-end products, even though it's high-end as well.
Exactly.
Because we eliminate the middleman, we don't pay overheads. So because of that, comparatively, when it comes to price, Mary Kay is cheaper because these other ones pay overheads. So they have to build it into the products and the price.
Yeah, well. So now, give some of our viewers right now some very practical steps. Right now, they don't have a background in accounting. They don't know how to do numbers or anything like that, but they really want to get into, let's say, Mary Kay, for example. They want to start a Mary Kay business, you know, so they can have that flexibility. They can have, you know, this passive income you're talking about. Give them 3 practical steps they can take right now to get them started.
Okay. First of all, what do you want? You want money. Because it depends. There are so many reasons why, if we're talking about Mary Kay, we have so many reasons why people join Mary Kay. Number one, obviously, is money. Why would I want money? Of course, we know that money gives you choices. Money actually determines your postcode and what have you. So if that's the reason Mary Kay is the place to, then of course we will tell you how. Then you find out that some people actually have the money, but they don't have recognition, you know, where they work or even in their other businesses. So they want that recognition. So that's another reason why you can join Mary Kay, and so many other things, the status and all that. So if you choose to join Mary Kay, what you do is Google Mary Kay. I'm sure my name will come out there.
We'll put some links as well.
We'll put some links. Get me, call me, get in contact with me, and then tell me why you want to join Mary Kay. And then we'll take it from there. But I'll tell you something. You see, apart from even Mary Kay, I've always been a supporter of people wanting to move to the next level, which is why I love the Books to Africa, because it's like, you know, even though, you know, when you launched, I invited myself basically because I said, no, this is too good for a young guy and young people to think about Africa, think about education in Africa, to say, do you know what, please, anybody that has books, you know, please send to us so that we can send to Africa to educate people.
Absolutely.
You have my heart. So I've always been that kind of person that wants to help people get whatever they want.
Of course.
And so.
Yeah, so, I mean, thank you for that, by the way. I mean, with Books to Africa, we like it when a lot of people like you know, they support us, and it really encourages us to do more. And of course, we are encouraging everybody, in a sense, you know, start something. I mean, whatever you're passionate about, like, you know, you've said, you know, get involved. I mean, if you want to start a Mary Kay business, if you want to start a business generally, maybe you need a mentor, right? Get in touch with people, talk to people about it. Some people are so scared to talk about their idea because they think somebody will steal their idea. You know? And it ends up just being an idea. It never happens. You know?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I guess sometimes we need, you know, to just work together.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
Yeah, so thank you for coming, really. I think that's been really helpful. We'll definitely have you back to talk about more things as well.
Okay.
So guys, please, thank you for watching. And of course, if you want to order any Mary Kay products today, whether the eyeliners, the, I don't know what they're called, but all the whole package.
The whole package.
Follow the links and make an order. And of course, if you want to contact Mrs. Okorocha as well, talk about you know, business ideas or helping you get started, do follow the links as well. Thank you for watching today, and I hope that you join us next time. Thank you for coming.
Okay.
Every day, millions of good books are thrown away. Yet 50% of people who go to school in Africa will not be able to read or write properly because they have no books. Books to Africa collects donated books and send them to projects in Africa. You can donate your books, fund a container shipment to Africa, or become a dedicated sponsor. Please do not throw your books away. Go to www.bookstoafrica.org to get involved. Thank you.